Here we are in the centre of Brisbane for the welcome home parade for the Olympians. Following Anna Meares, Sally Pearson came the mighty Hockeyroos and Kookaburras, and we're going to catch up with them shortly. Nate, how was that experience?
Oh, brilliant. I mean, yeah, fantastic to be back home and my home state, and just to see everyone coming out, supporting us. Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. It's awesome to be here. It's great.
And a lot of recognition for the Hockeyroos and the Kookaburras.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Like everyone just walking down the streets, everyone knows who we are, and you know, big fans of the Kookaburras and the Hockeyroos, and it's great to see that so many people are supporting us.
It's good to see, and it's great to see that bronze medal around your neck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, loving it. Would have liked the gold, but I'm very happy with the bronze, and I think it's a great reward for all the hard work we've done for the last 4 years.
So, thanks very much for spending a moment with us.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Anytime.
Joining us now, Jodie Schultz. Jodie, fantastic experience with the parade.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a good turnout, and it's awesome to see our supporters and everyone out here having a good time.
And a lot of recognition for the Hockeyroos and Kookaburras. That's also good to see.
Yeah, it is very good to see. We need every bit we can get. It's good.
And have you had much of a reception on the Sunshine Coast?
No, we've got that tonight, so I'm heading up the coast here tonight for a reception there, which will be wonderful, I'd imagine.
Lots and lots of memories.
Yep, lots of memories. Great fun.
Jodie, thanks for joining us in the Hockey Zone. At the conclusion of the parade, the athletes will go to a civic reception, after which we've been granted special permission to catch up with the Hockeyroos and Kookaburras. Hockeyroos Jodie Schultz, welcome to Hockey Zone.
Thank you.
Welcome home to Queensland.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure it's great to be here.
It is great to be home.
Your first Olympics, London 2012, but when I think about it, it's only 14 months ago you made your debut. It's been a hell of a ride the last 14 months.
Yeah, definitely you can say that. It's been a real whirlwind. Going from just being selected 18 months ago to playing my first Olympics, so it's just been an amazing experience, and I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to play in my first Olympics.
And when you were selected 18 months ago, was it a hope you'd go to the Olympics, or did you expect to go? I mean, what was your ambition when you were selected?
I definitely didn't expect to go. I definitely hoped to go. It's always been one of my goals since I was a little girl, and I knew it was just that little bit closer when I was selected, and if I worked hard enough, and that goal suddenly became realistic.
Let's go back to when you were a little girl. When did you first become aware of this thing called the Olympics, this entity called the Hockeyroos, and thought, I'd like to be part of that?
I first picked up my stick when I was 6 years old, and I guess, as soon as I started, I always knew I was really competitive, and I always wanted to be the best at whatever I was doing, and it was just a goal from when I was really small, and I'm just so happy that I got there.
And that was with your original club, Wamuran?
Yeah, Wamuran Hockey Club, that's where I started, and my dad was my first coach, and it's a really, really small club, so that's something I'm really extra proud of, to be out of Wamuran and to have gone to London.
And what would you say to young girls playing at Wamuran at the moment in terms of what they can do to actually realise their dream?
I guess it just takes hard work, and it doesn't matter where you come from. It's possible for anyone if you put in that effort, and it takes a lot of persistence. It took me years and years, and it's just hard work that got me there in the end.
You mentioned Dad was your first coach. Is he still giving you advice and tips, and does that conflict ever with Adam's advice?
He still gives me advice from time to time, but he's always positive, and he's been a great influence on me and my hockey, and he's just very proud of my achievements, and he's only wanted me to do the best I can.
Your drag flicking is obviously a huge part of your game, but does it annoy you you're inevitably introduced as a drag flick specialist?
No, not really. I think I'm really proud of being able to drag flick, and I haven't been doing it for that long, and it would have been nice to have scored a few more goals over there, but I'm really proud that I'm in the small popular club that can actually drag flick, so it's not annoying at all. I just proud that I can do it, and it's definitely a good trait to have.
And I mean, speaking of the goals in London, the vision we had on TV was time and time again the Hockeyroos would get a corner, and you'd be holding the number about to come on. It's just seen the first 3 games, I think, that happened over and over again.
Yeah, it did, and I think it's a little bit disappointing I didn't get more goes at it. Sometimes it's just a bit of luck, and you definitely need a break off the field, and it was just unfortunate that I was off a lot of the times that we were awarded a penalty corner.
You seem to be part of a young group of Hockeyroos that include Anna Flanagan, Emily Smith, Jade Close, Jade Taylor, all around about the same age, all around about the 60 game mark. And there seems a real camaraderie between that group from, you know, following what you say to each other on Twitter and the like.
Yeah, it's just a really tight group and we're all supporting of each other, and we did start, there was a big group that started all together, so obviously we've been improving at a similar rate. So yeah, we're a really tight-knit group, and we're only going to go up from here and bring on Rio. I say, like, we've got 60 games now, let's hope we have like 150 in Rio. So yeah, the team's going to be fantastic in 4 years, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Back to the London Olympics. Share with us one of the most amazing or surprising experiences you had away from the hockey field.
Probably, yeah, just the village, just the atmosphere, and everyone just striving for that one goal, and everyone just so positive, and just, yeah, it was just a really awesome place to be.
Did you manage to get in, or did you miss the Roger Federer photo shoot?
No, I missed that, so yeah, it was disappointing. I did see a lot of famous people, so it was very exciting. Had my camera out a lot during the 2 weeks, so it was very cool.
And the opening ceremony? Closing ceremony, that must be amazing.
Yeah, we didn't go to the opening. We didn't march anyway, but Laurie Lawrence organised a little separate march in and around the village, and that was just fantastic. His spirit is just, it's awesome, and really got us pumped for our games. And the closing ceremony was amazing also, just walking out in that main stadium in front of all those people and seeing all the acts and whatnot that went on. It was really amazing.
I know Madonna Blythe is a huge or former huge Spice Girls fan, but what about you? Was it a thrill, or you're a bit young for the Spice Girl era?
No, I was definitely around the Spice Girls, and I think a lot of the girls love the old Spice Girls, so everyone was very excited to hear that they were performing in the closing ceremony.
Jody, you referenced Rio in 4 years' time. What is it you as a player have to do to make sure you're there in 4 years' time?
I guess it's still, I've still got a long way to go with pretty much all of my skills, and you're definitely drag flicking. I can still do a lot of improvement there, and just fitness, everything can really just get us another step up, and just continue to improve and work as hard as I did for the preparation for London.
The defensive unit in London was just sensational. I think you only conceded 1 field goal, and your tackling in particular seemed to really go to a new level. Is that something you're conscious of during the tournament? Yeah,
definitely, and it was definitely something that we worked as a defensive unit prior to going into London. It was making sure that we had our defence down pat, and we really nailed it in London too. There was only 2 penalty corners scored, so there was no field goals, and to only concede 2 goals in the whole tournament is just something we can be individually as a defender group really proud of.
And you finished up, at the end of the tournament, you've ended up being ranked 5th in the world. You started being ranked 7th or 8th, is that correct?
We haven't changed rankings. We will change if we going into this Champions Challenge tournament. But yeah, we showed some really positive signs in London, and yeah, we look forward to creeping up to that #1 spot in the world.
And share with us a couple of things you've been doing since the end of the Olympics that you had been denying yourself in the lead up to the campaign.
Probably chocolate, little things like that. You just yeah, treat yourself, I guess, for a couple of weeks, and then we're back into training. So obviously you can't let yourself go too much. Just yeah, enjoying a few privileges that you couldn't do before the games. And
what is on the Hockeyroos agenda for the rest of the year?
So we've got this Champions Challenge coming up, and that's pretty much the major tournament that we've got. And then we've got another Lenco Super Series, and then we've got quite a big break over Christmas to fully rejuvenate and ready to go next year.
Of course, AHL as well.
Yeah.
Jody, we're all very proud of you in Queensland and followed the hockey extremely closely. You've actually become recognised throughout the country as a result of the well-known bank ad, which gets referenced a lot and was on high rotation during the Olympics. Thanks very much for joining us on Hockey Zone, and we look to following your career over the coming 4 to 8 years.
Thanks. I'd just like to thank everyone just for their support over the London Games. I can't do it without such great people behind me, and yeah, I really appreciate every message, every letter that I received. It was just really great, and that's the little things that inspire me to continue to improve.